Football Weekly, the digital edition. Spring ball, oh yes, for some schools already underway. On Saturday, be able to watch Stanford's the Cardinal and White game, 1 p.m. Pacific, Pac-12 Networks and the Pac-12 Now app. Yogi Roth, Curtis Conway, Mike Am with you. You were actually with the team earlier today. I think a lot of people are focusing in on some of the things that Stanford has lost, but there's plenty of weapons that are in the fold. We were impressed last year. Christian McCaffrey, the freshman, had an opportunity to talk to him on Football Weekly earlier this week. How dangerous can he be?
Ridiculous. I mean, we saw flashes of it, but we all know you played the game. As a freshman, it's hard. You think you're always ready for more, but it's sometimes difficult to really fulfill that appetite. And this young man has a big-time appetite. He's one of the most dynamic players in the entire country. He's going to come out in a big way in the Pac-12 conference this fall. He's a young man who can beat you, catching the ball, running it on special teams. He's completely driven. Obviously, he's got great bloodlines, been around the game, but I think they're going to find a lot of creative ways to get him the rock. When you look at this offense, they got 4 stud tight ends coming back. They have a quarterback. When you look at his last 3 games versus the first 10 of a year ago, he's a completely different guy. He's been playing lights out in spring. And then, of course, the receiver. They're bringing 2 guys back in Rector and Kajus. They averaged 20, 30 yards a catch a couple years ago. I mean, they're big play guys, so I think this offense will open up, and they're going to get another 1,000-yard rusher because last year was the first time since 2007 they didn't have a running back go for over 1,000.
And they also have 4 of their starting offensive line coming back. Yeah. The only guy that's not coming back is Andres Pete, who should be top, first-round draft pick. So you're talking about some returning guys on the offensive side of the ball. They should be pretty stacked on offense next season.
They are losing some starters on the defensive side. How worried are you about that?
I'm very worried because when you look at this football team, the last 5 seasons, they've relied on this defense. This defense has been either 1 or 2 in the Pac-12. That means on offense, you don't have to put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. This year, you may have to see a little more throwing the ball, a little more chance taking from that offense, because you're going to have a lot of new faces. Now, guys, I know Stanford is a football team that may be stacked with some guys that are waiting to play, but anytime you've been 1 or 2 in the Pac-12 for the last 5 seasons and you lose 8 guys, now a lot of these guys were older guys. They wasn't younger guys who stepped in. These are guys who've been around the program a while, so they've been a part of that 5 years. That's going to be tough to make up, especially in the league right now that's throwing the ball all over the yard.
You nailed it. What's going to be interesting is this is a team, remember, they went 4 straight years to major bowl games. They were in the conversation for the Pac-12 title or won it 4 straight years. Yep. That didn't happen last year. So you have a young team, young defensive players. They haven't been there. And if they won last year, I think those players, sometimes you're like, oh, this is just who we are. This is just going to happen. We're just going to roll the ball out, put our cleats on, and away we go. This is a really hungry team. They said it's the best offseason they've had in a long time on the farm. So excited to see these guys who we don't know their names necessarily. You'll see them in the spring game, but see how they turn out.
If I'm not mistaken, you said you liked them in the North to win?
Yes, that's my squad. It's early.
Still early.
I'm excited to see it Saturday on the field, but from being around them and studying them from last year's film and the guys they have coming back, they're my pick.
Our first look at this Stanford squad. Yes, Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific, Pac-12 Networks and the Pac-12 Now app. Enjoy the game. We, of course, will be in studio for it.